ApexOnlineRacing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below. Hello everybody and welcome to the 14th round of AOR Hype Energy's Xbox One F2 League for Season 16. Today we go to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, a very high-speed circuit where originally stretched to over 10 kilometers, 5.5 of which was a road section similar to today's layout, plus a loop which stretched 4.5 kilometers. I am Jess, one of your commentators this evening, and joining me today is the good old Alex. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm not bad. How are you, Jess? It feels strange to be in F2. You know, I'm normally used to the underdwellings of F3, but yeah, it's a nice change. Yeah, hope you're well.
And you did fill in for F2 for previous races, of course, when I was a race. So it kind of feels strange for you to not do the controlling, isn't it? You like?
Yeah, it does in a way. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not so much a stranger to the league, so yeah.
That's good, and that's why we're very glad to have you. And it's at the grounds where the Tifosi are in full force tonight, with many of the fans supporting the Ferrari team, and they're hoping that the Ferrari lineup do well tonight. And Ferrari holds the record actually with the most wins on this track, with 19 wins, but they haven't won since 2010. Since the hybrid era in 2014, Mercedes has won every single one of them. We thought Ferrari was going to win in 2018 with Kimi Räikkönen, but unfortunately Hamilton nipped into the post. But we got the tyres on offer today. We got the yellow softs, the red super softs, and the white mediums. We won't see the white mediums used as much, as we tend to be on a one-stop strategy mainly with the super softs and the softs. The pole time record on this circuit was set by Brendan Lee with a 1:19-ish. I can't remember what time that was, but we could expect time to go a little bit higher tonight. We're already seeing times being broken as we're going into qualifying in a second. We're already seeing the pole time go into that, but we are about to go into the 5.7 kilometer circuit. A lot of the potential on this circuit, actually, you can go full throttle. There are 2 DRS straights in use tonight, one in turn 7, and the next one on the start-finish straight after Parabolica, and we are now about to go to qualifying. So here we go, the drivers are now underway for qualifying. Everybody now is on the set of the Super Tops tyres, which is what I think we were expecting for these tyres to go on, because no matter what tyre you go on really, you can get a one-stop strategy nailed on, except if you crash into turn 1 or you have to get a front wind change or anything like that. So the fastest pole is set by Pelsbury at the moment with a 1:19.3, with Bailey having bad luck last week, but he's in second at the moment with a 1:19.4. So time's pretty close off the bat already, which is very good to see, but I've already predicted this in F2, it is very close indeed. 16 drivers tonight, and I think Monza is a track where we can see some very close racing, Alex.
Oh, definitely. The long straights create for some brilliant overtaking moves, add some bit of DRS to it, you bit of slipstream as well, and you'll see cars flying left, right and centre to overtake each other. But yeah, it's something where I wouldn't say strategy is so key, but you know, you got to be on the ball. It's the fastest track on the calendar as well. You know, high speed could equal high crashes, so could we see a safety car? I don't know, but it's all got to play for, and yeah, it should be really great race.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to it, and the championship is pretty close as well, as Melanie is still in the lead of the standings at the moment. And I was going to get an image up on OBS, but I completely forgot to put it on, so I will try and get this up before the formation lap, but I will go through the standings for you in the formation lap as well. But we've got the McLaren quite closing up as well. We also got Rosberg, also a championship contender to Melanie as well. Rosberg did very well last time about in Belgium as well. Belgium was pretty close and very close racing all round as well. We could expect some good racing out here today as well. four drivers not to set a lap time at the moment. Rosberg just gone fastest at the moment, so he's just managed to get a lap time set. Jork's on a lap at the moment as well. Ollie's on an out lap. Pretty much everyone really needs to make sure they get their lap in there to make sure that even on the final lap, they make sure that they at least have a lap in the bag in order to start as high as you can, because in Monza, track position, if you start really high up on the grid, you can possibly make up some ground going to turn 1, no matter where you are, as long as you're in the top 5.
Oh, definitely. It's a bit like Monaco, where you are is where you qualify is really crucial. But you know, it's still an extreme. Like, yeah, if you qualify within the top 5, yeah, you definitely got a chance to take the win here. So you can see, you know, we've got a varied cars coming through now. I think the cars now coming into the pits, getting new set tyres, and going out again, because it feels like it's going to be a situation where the last lap is probably going to take pole as we get more conditioned on the track. Just more, the drivers get more settled in, the tyres are warmed up, you know, the track warms up. It may be the case where, yeah, we will face that. To what the weather's going to hold, we don't know. You know, could we expect rain? Maybe we could, and then that would cause just another layer of problems for the drivers to think about. You know, the whole strategy you thought about with your tyres during qualifying goes out of the window completely. But yeah, you know, we've got Infamous Clays now trying to set some laps. We've only got about four drivers now. I haven't set a lap yet. So yeah, some drivers have to set some lap times on, as we've only got about 10 minutes left until the checker flag goes.
Yes, exactly, and we're looking forward to seeing the battle within Famous Clays in Rosberg as well, as we saw that last time about in Belgium as well. So, in Famous Clays, not on a good lap at the moment. Obviously, he was on his out lap, but I can see him going really fast. So we're gonna watch out for him as we go towards the end of the session. Then, as we can expect to see some faster times from him. So looking forward to seeing how he does, to see if he could catch up to Rosberg, as he's on a fly at the moment, as he's about to start his out lap. Going into turn 1, you can afford to go full throttle here, going just onto second gear on this very tight corner. It's very important you get that apex right, especially when you overtake, because otherwise it can cause quite a lot of problems for the rest of the run. Now, all full power here going to 7th and 8th gear. It is a very long straight here. You need to brake just before the 100-meter board, but you can afford to go into 4th or even 3rd gear at this point to get some traction in. And he just went slid a little bit there, but luckily he was in circuit, so it was absolutely fine. Just starting sector 2, looking quick so far, hugging the left curb just a little bit. I think he took a little bit too much curb going through, just about to go through Ascari pretty soon as well, hitting the DRS flat wide open using full ERS mode, so he is using his ERS2 potential at the moment. Going for Ascari now. It is going to be very tough. Oh my word, he's just hit the wall. So that was his lap time.
Completely lost it.
That was his lap time invalidated, so he does have time to go back into the pits and set that lap time, but that is not going to have his super softs very good, and he's not going to have much super softs in the race. Interestingly enough though, Ollie Smithson, haven't seen him up the top in a while actually. The last time I've seen him up the top is pretty much in season 15. So he's back up there. He's in P2, Clone Troop, 119.0. So are we going to see some people go into the 118s? We have seen people go into the 118s during practice. So we can see some close times up there, as Clone Troop has taken a very interesting line going into turn 1. But I think he's already set a lap time anyway. So is Roberts on a lap at the moment? Is he going to set a lap time, or is he going to be invalidated? Yes, he has set a lap time on a 119.9. All the top, pretty much the top 14 separated by 9/10. That's how close it is. So I can't really call who's going to get pole at the moment. Literally any one of these guys can get pole. That's how close it is at the moment. That's what I like about F2. That's why I like commentating on it. And it is very tough to get into F2. It's probably similar to F1. If you don't get into F1, the next best league is F2. Rosberg is on another lap as well. Let's see if he can go faster than Clone Troop. It's nice to see Clone Troop back up there where he belongs. It's basically, I think it's the 3rd race where he's been on the wheel, so he's still getting used to it. So it's nice that he's back in full flow at the moment, back where he belongs. He did have some good pace originally before, but he did spin it a few times, but he's looking very strong at this stage, and I think Rosberg wasn't able to improve on his previous time, so at the moment still Clone Troop on pole, and I think Rosberg in second, Oh, excuse me. Ollie in third and Pelsbury in fourth position. And Manley not doing very well at the moment in fifth, but I could see him finding a few attempts to possibly get there and catch up to the top two.
Yeah, definitely. I think with Monza, it's a track of risks. You know, yeah, you can push as much time as you can, but you've got so many different areas, you know, where if you just push too much, as we saw in Infamous, if you push too much, you're going to ruin your lap time. So it's just basically how much can you risk and how much can you put online. And the drivers that really do put it on the line get the results and get the pole. As you saw with Clone Troop there, he's got about 2 tenths lead on Rosberg there. Rosberg's on a fine lap now. He's going through a Scari as we see it, and he takes a pretty good line. But he had a slight moment there, which took a bit too much curb and nearly lost the rear. But that's the kind of risk you need. You need that kind of risk, the kind of, you know, just push your car to your max to get the best time out of Monza. You need to, you know, take as wide lines as you can, whatever you can do. But Rosberg, he's coming into the pits and he's given up on that lap. 6 minutes left of the qualifying session to go.
Yes, very exciting to see the order pretty much change off the bat at the moment. And even though Ollie is not in a battle for the championship, he really wants to get some glory somehow. So we could see another flight coming up pretty soon, as well as we go on. So interesting on strategy. We're going to go more information about the strategy when we get to the formation and that. But are we going to see people go on to a set of mediums to start with? We have seen that in Oceania this morning, where a few people went on to the mediums and then went on to the super soft or the soft. But that probably did not pay off for them, and that is why it's crucial. I think many start on the super softs, and that will get the best strategy. But I think I saw one person qualify on the soft this morning in Oceania, but that was it. Everybody else was on the supers. So supers best tire to be on, in my opinion, as I think everybody's going into the pits now except Clone Troop and Ollie Smithson. So the two Red Bull pairing are going out, I see, and they're probably going to be working together. And I think most teammates are pretty much working together in this league, which is very good to see. It's not just about the drivers' championship, it's also about the constructors as well, you know. You've got to get good points for drivers as well as constructors. Constructors really don't mean anything. You don't get any prizes for that, but you do get points for you get prizes for the drivers, I believe. I did see someone wear an AOR branded hoodie with Hype Energy on it, which looked pretty cool. So I think they may be winning one of those if they win F2, but that was Ollie, I think, just had a little bit of a slide there into the ground, but luckily he was on his out lap anyway, so that is not a problem. So he's going to have probably a few more chances to get a lap in. We've got Rosberg on an out lap as well. Everyone pretty much is going out now, but I think most of these guys will probably wait until around about the 3-minute, 2-minute mark to get a lap in, because it is important to go in as late as possible on your final lap, because nearly everyone has set a lap time. The later you leave it, and if you basically start your final lap pretty much a few seconds before the checker flag, that's where you get the most grip, and that is probably, it is more than likely you could get higher up the grid if you do that, as a lot of the track is starting to rubber in. As in famous place, moves out the way of Ollie Smithson. You have a yellow flag in sector 2, probably someone's falling down. Oh, Ollie, that was an interesting line there. Gravel, to be honest, even if you go full throttle on some of these places, it's so easy to just hit the gravel there. So there's sometimes you probably have to lift and close a few at a time in order to make sure you don't hit into the wall. So probably not. I think because he did hit full throttle when he hit that corner. That's probably why. But you can hit full throttle when he goes on the straight. So that is probably what he was meant to do. So that's probably his lap time in a validate. Clone Troop is on the lap at the moment. He's not on a particularly fast one at the moment. No, he's not. He's going into the pits. He's lagging for me at my end. So don't know. I'm just going to see who else is on one. Pelsbury's on an out lap, and Infamous Clay's on a lap. So let's see if Infamous Clay can get a better one. He's about to start another fly at the moment. Let's hope he can get some good luck. He has time to get 2 or 3 more laps in before qualifying finishes. So, but is it a little bit too late for the Mercedes driver? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think it's everything we wait to see. If he messes up again on this lap, then it looks like to be curtains for him maybe at the back of the grid. But as I say, the drivers are perfectly showing what I mean by negotiated risk. It's all about how late you can brake, how much speed you can take in the corners, because you know it's Infamous Clay's here as he goes for the corner. There's gravel traps waiting for you just to entice you in. If you go too much, you will just basically lose all your time. So it's you know, to get pole in Monza is an absolute masterclass to do, because you perfectly master the track and just don't hit any of the traps Monza sets out for you. So let's see, Evans Clay's running through into a Scari just now, and let's see how he takes it. Because he did have a moment coming out of the Scari. Let's see if he's learned his lesson. Yep, he's definitely learned his lesson. He didn't take too much curb through the last section there, which really made him lose the rear and into the barriers and lost the front wing, and also had a set of tyres, which ain't ideal. He's going to the Parabolica now. Goes down to 5th, brakes slightly. Yeah, he's coasting there. Monza's a track we've got a lot of low downforce as well, so you've got to negotiate that as well. But let's see where Infamous Clays comes now as he goes across the line. And he takes pole, 118.9. Not bad at all.
That is a very good lap time for Tier 2 drivers. We haven't seen many of the Tier 2 drivers going to the 118s yet, as he's the first person to do so. So can anyone beat him? I think there could be a few people that can beat him, but now a lot of people now have probably seen what Infamous Clays can do and is like, right, I want to go out and improve on that. And Clone Troop's probably got a little bit of fire in his belly, because I'm looking at the gaps right now to the lead at 1/10. So if Clone Troop can find 1/10 or Rosberg find a few tenths, any of those can get pole. And Clone Troop has never been on the front row in the while in F2, so obviously he's been in F1 a few seasons. I don't think Infamous Clays has run out of fuel, or he's probably not going to have, or is he going to, I think it might be too little too late to set a final lap, because he's slowing right down, but he's got like 30 or 35 seconds, so it's going to be close to see if he can get into the Parabolica in time. I
think he'll make it, but he's going to be on the same set of tyres, which ain't ideal. Yeah.
No, but Super Softs is not a bad strategy to start with in Monza, to be honest. So yeah, I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to make it only just. But he might have had it in practice though. He was practicing, so maybe he can just about make it. Pelsby's just retired. No,
yeah,
he's not going to make it. He's slowing down. So. But I think he's probably done enough, you know. He thinks he can't improve anymore, but maybe that's a bit too little too late if he's not got the gamble. There's Clone Troops on another flyer. Yeah, Infamous Clays is retired. Maloney, or how you say his name, just finished the lap, and so is Beaver as well. 3 tenths off pole for Melanie, and 4 tenths off pole for Beaver. And Rosberg, 66 thousandths off Infamous Clays, and not enough to snatch pole. I'm quite shocked actually that he wasn't able to catch up to his teammate Infamous Clays. So far Mercedes 1-2. Dralix is just going past Sector 2 at the moment. We'll keep an eye on him as well. But let's just watch Clone Trick.
He's out of fuel.
Well. Oh, he's out of fuel too. A lot of people
Dralix is out of fuel.
Yeah. And let's just follow Clone Troop then. And he's on the fly. Not a particularly fast lap, I think, at the moment. But we'll just no, he's slowing down.
He's giving away.
He's giving away. I'm just going to see what Ollie's going to do. He's on the flyer at the moment. He's 8th fastest at the moment. Is he going to get faster than 8th fastest? Probably not, but we'll see. 6th fastest, so he improved his time. I didn't see how much he improved his time, but in 6th, it's probably best qualifying finish of the season. Nobody else is on the lap, so I think
okay, that's secured.
Yep, it is. Infamous Clays once again takes pole position, which I think is a great start, as it is very key to get pole position in Monza. And I think that Tifosi won't be happy for the 2 Ferrari drivers. Obviously, Sam is last in 16th. Everyone actually managed to set a lap time actually. So the first few sessions in a while in F2 where everyone has set a lap time. But not looking good for the Ferrari drivers today, but looking good for the 2 Mercedes boys, a Mercedes front row lockout.
Yeah, great for Mercedes, definitely. Great for the team championship, as you say. Evans Clays, he's 4th. He's basically 1 point behind Dralix, who's in 3rd. So that is going to be absolutely crucial for him, because you see what Dralix is. Dralix is P5, Evans Clays is P1. So we're probably going to see Evans Clays overtake Dralix and take P3. Cyril Rosberg being in P2 is even better for Mercedes in the team championship, because Maloney is in P7, championship leader, and it's only a gap of about 16 points. So that is crucial. We could see the whole makeup of the league championship change just in this one race. So yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. This qualifying let's just say that it lived up to expectations, definitely.
It definitely did. 1 second separates between pretty much first to 16th. So, to be honest, I couldn't call it all race. Clone Tree came out of nowhere, was pole for a little bit, but then Rosberg and Famous Clays were nipping at his heels. So, that's how good Monza can get. Everyone is saying that Monza is one of their strongest tracks. To be honest, I pretty much agree. When I raced in F1 2018, I particularly enjoyed driving Monza because of the full power and stuff like that. And luckily for the drivers, it is a dry race by the looks of things. We haven't had any indication if it's going to be raining or not. So, very good news for the drivers, which means that they could definitely make the use of the track much more and get some good overtakes. And I haven't seen Monza rain pretty much in the leagues I've commentated on, so that is good to see. It is pretty much one of the last races in the European season, well, excluding Russia, which is a few rounds' time, but it's basically one of the last races of the main European leg of the season. They just really got to go out with a bang, especially most of these guys are from, I think all these guys are from Europe. They want to, I think if anyone wants to win Monza, it has to be today, really, to be honest. They just got to make sure they go out with a bang and get the results that they needed. We had a few retirements last week. The guys that retired last week really want to make sure that they get a much better result. And it looks like the negative mindset for most of the drivers have gone out of their minds and looking for a good result. Ollie was looking very clean last week until a few instants pretty much midway through the race. So he has improved from practice. So we'll just have to find out as the drivers are going on for the formation lap. And we are about to get the pit strategy up for you right now, and also get the tyres as well to see who is qualified on which tyre as well.
So, talking about statistics and talking about drivers, Maloney, Rosberg and Dralix are the only drivers not to have basically crashed out or retired during the race. So that could be quite influential in a race like Monza, where we could expect some crashes coming up. So yeah, they're some of the most reliable drivers. In terms of unreliability, you know, quite a few drivers. Clone Troop has had a bit of problems with crashing out. Ollie Smithson has. He's actually retired in half of all of his races. He's retired out 6 out of 12.
Yeah.
But the most wins in terms of drivers are Cyril Rosberg and Infamous Clays. The two Mercedes drivers. So maybe we'll see. Probably it's most likely we'll see a Mercedes on the top step of the podium today.
Yes, we will. And looking at the pit strategy today, there was an issue of it this morning, but it does seem to be fixed, so we have got it right up for you. So most people are qualifying on the super softs in the top 10, so they will be pitting around about lap 7 to 10 on a set of the soft tyres to the end. So that will be the pit window, but I think most people are going to pit around about 10 to 11. Guys on the softs will go from around lap 16 to 18 and then pit on the super softs at the end. Hellsway on the mediums. We don't know what the medium strategy is, but probably a few laps after the softs, that's where Hellsway will go on and pit for a set of softs or super softs, I think. Most likely the super softs to go to the end. So just we'll keep an eye on when the pit window is, and probably most people go around about lap 10 to go on to a new set of softs. But it can all change. There's a few people going a lot faster in their formation lap as I think now they're Ghost AI controlled, going on to ready to start the race. Then should be very interesting. The race is not over in turn 1, so hopefully to see some clean racing from these guys going through here, as I hope there's not many carnage going in there. It was clean this morning, hopefully it should be clean this evening for these guys as we're waiting for the last few people to take their grid spots.
Yeah, everyone's getting ready for the race, everyone's warming up, and I'll let you do the 5 lights, Jess.
Yes, I will do. We got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it is lights out, and away we go for the Monza Grand Prix. An even start for the 2 Mercedes drivers. We've got the Toro Rosso fighting as well. Clone Trip in the middle of them both, so quite even battles going on through the field. Verstappen gaining positions well up into 3rd place at the moment, but Clone Trip was managing to defend and get the switchback done. Ollie almost dropping position up down into P5, but gaining some ground already. We've got some, we've got Roberts, Jork and Sam right down the bottom there. But Verstappen, knowing he's always a good person to gain positions off the start, and he's doing it right off the bat as Clone Troop almost went wide a little bit of the circuit. He's dropping positions, or it might be Ollie, I don't know. But so far, Rosberg managed to get the jump on Infamous Clays at the start. These are up into the lead of this Grand Prix with Infamous Clays in 2nd, Verstappen in 3rd. Clone Troop dropped a little bit in P4. Dralik in the half doing quite well as well, and is looking to see if he could overtake Clone Troop in Ascari. Clone Troop looked like he was lagging. He did say he was having some connection issues, but we got a battle at midfield as well with our championship leader Manoni and our second place last week, Frangwish. Frangwish managed to gain. He's gaining all the time, trying to defend off the salvo behind of Beeper and LGS as well. This is getting intense for all my liking, but that's all what the first lap is all about. Maloney just still manages to hold on. He's still under pressure from Frangwish in the Toro Rosso. They go through the start, finish straight. Let's see what is going to happen here. We've got the Ferrari joining in on the action as well. Frangwish, I think, almost managed to get the jump on all of them, but Maloney still manages to hold on.
It's going to be 4 wide.
It's going to be 4 wide. Hopefully they all keep this clean. They're just managing to keep it clean, which is good to see, I got to say, from these guys. As Frangwish and Maloney is still by side. It is hard to get a move into turn 2. Frangwish has done it. Frangwish is up into P7. Beefer's gained a position. LGS has dropped it. But so far, a clean start from everyone going through the first few laps of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely. No one's really had any major contacts. You see, for turn 1 was rather nice and clean. Pelzeri, sorry, he is starting on the mediums and he's dropped a few places, probably due to his charge choice, but I've already explained that he's gone out on a limb. And Franglish, he's going to try to go down the straight now with, he doesn't have DRS just yet, because lap 2, lap 3. But let's say he goes into Ascari, going on the outside, and has he got the move down? Was there a bit of contact there? My game went a bit funny.
Well, Clone Troop's
but
out.
Clone Troop has retired. Yeah. Ooh. He's he spun out. He looked like he was going. He looked like, from my opinion, just looking at it, when we came past, the car was facing the wrong way. So maybe he just had a moment going out for Ascari and just side slapped the barrier. Maybe, I'm not too sure, but. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame for the Red Bull driver. But DRS is now enabled, as you can see, as all the cars now, as LGS is going to go on the inside of Maloney. As there's Franglish on the outside as well. So they all go into turn 1 now. Maloney gets kind of bogged down as LGS takes the inside of turn 1. But couldn't make the move stick at all.
No, Franglish doing ever so well to try and fend off that. He started midfield at the start of the race last week and then he ended up in P2. Is it going to be a replica of what happened in Hungary? We'll have to wait and see as Maloney is trying to fend off again. He still manages to hold on. LGS has dropped a little bit, so I think that's managed Beefer to get on, but LGS is still side by side. The midfield battle is definitely intense, I got to say, but I'm still trying to keep an eye on what's happening with the front as well. And Famous plays actually 2 tenths behind our race leader, CRL Rosberg. Rosberg doing well to try and pull away. He's keeping the lead. Our first penalty is going to Ollie Smithson, which I think is not the glory you want to take in this Grand Prix by getting that first penalty. That's not going to help whatsoever with his charge through the field. But Ollie's doing well in P5 at this stage. So I think it's going to be put a little bit less pressure on Franglish if he wants to retain P5, as I think we got in Famous Clays in DRS straight of Rosberg there. They're going side by side going into turn 1. In Famous Clays, looks like he has the better line going through there, and he gets that position done up into the lead of the race on lap 4, which is very crucial for him going into the pit stops really soon at a couple of laps time. We've still got Rosberg nipping at his heels as well, so it'll be interesting to see what happens as well. Dralix not that far behind his teammate Bailey Verstappen as well. Verstappen in P3. And let me just look at the position changes then. The award for the most position changes so far in the first few laps goes to SSR Bobbers, who started from about 14th, 15th and is all the way up now into P11. So gained a few ground from him at the moment. So well done to Bobbers there. He goes, well, no, he's gained another one as he's just gone past Palzery in the Sauer. So well done to him as well. But Dralix really challenging for his teammate as well. Rosberg gonna see if he can try and make another move past in Famous Plays then. He had the better start, but in Famous Plays got the better move the last lap. Who's gonna get the better move this lap as they go through Ascari, all going full throttle in free ERS mode at the moment. So managing his ERS battery not too bad at the moment. Let's see how in Famous Plays is. Roughly the same, but on low ERS, so I think they're saving it when it matters, when they try to defend and stuff like that. I think Rosberg wants to use the overtake mode to potential, as if Rosberg going to try and make a move, no, he's not.
LGS has gone on the inside of, LGS has gone on the inside of Maloney, as Maloney goes completely wide on the Parabolica, and without even using DRS, LGS has taken P8 from the championship leader, and now Bobbitt's has taken P9 from Maloney there. So that is an actually terrible sector 3 from Maloney. He went wide coming out for Scari, went wide on the Parabolica and just let 2 cars through. And he makes contact with Bobbitt's there. As, oh my god, that was not a clean turn 1 at all.
That wasn't. I was expecting at some point turn 1 was going to be an issue, and it happens right there. Going 4-5 wide into turn 1 is not the best option. And we've got Pelsbury, Maloney, and Hayden as well. It's going to be 6 wide at this rate. Holy moly, what is Monza going to? But to be honest, I was expecting it to be this close because it is Monza and it is full power. It is dry, obviously. So that's where we could see some battles hotting up as well. So Rosberg is about 3 tenths, not quite close enough to catch up to his teammate, but if we see the gap closing up, we will follow them. But I think the battle is really heating up for pretty much the points playing position now between the bottom lot. Any points is crucial. Even if they get 1 point, it would help in the championship. Pretty much everyone in this championship so far has scored some points in the championship, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But Maloney, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose any points. If he stays like this at the moment, he's not going to score any points, and that's going to gain some massive ground between them two. And I think we got the 2 Haas cars fighting into turn 1. Alex got the move done in turn 1, but Verstappen got the switch back, and Verstappen up into P3 again. But Dralix doing very well to try and catch up to him. Teammates battling for position, we haven't seen that much. Dralix looking very strong in Monza at the moment. Not the best qualifying session for him, but like Verstappen, he's gained some massive ground. But in Monza, which is very good to see, is that I think we could see a battle for the last podium position happening as well. So we've got a battle for the lead, battle for the last podium position, and a battle for the last points position. So crucial points of this Grand Prix for the title protagonists and for the Haas cars and pretty much everybody in this race. And the guys on the midfield are just there and want to join in this action as well. This is going to be very exciting.
Rosberg's out.
Oh, in fact,
no, Clay's is out. Sorry, Clay's just went into the wall. Clay's came out. Sorry, Clay's just came out for Scari. I was watching on board of Rosberg. He just went on the outside of Ascari, lost the rear, and ended up in the wall. What?
Wow.
That was just absolutely bizarre to watch. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just so unfortunate. A major accident by him there, but you can just see, just took a bit too much out of it. We knew it was exactly similar to what he done in qualifying when he binned the lap and was on board of him. It was the exact same to what happened, but what a shame. Leading the race. Oh, he'll be kicking himself for that one. He absolutely will be.
It was its own, it looked like it was his own mistake, to be honest with you, and yes, it was something what he did in qualifying, and it would have been nice for him to see a battle with Rosberg developing, but unfortunately that is not going to happen, which is a bit of a shame. So, in famous Clays makes our second retirement of this Grand Prix, started from pole, and now not finished, that making his, roughly about a second or third DNF of the season, so that's allowing Rosberg to stretch the gap up a little bit, and that means Dralix is in P2 now and Verstappen in P3, but I think nobody else has pretty much got penalties at the moment apart from Ollie Smithson, so it's pretty much even Stevens in terms of track position at the moment. But I think Rosberg hopefully got Jeff on his radio saying that his teammate is out, so he can afford to conserve just a little bit, but not too much, because Dralix is still fast approaching. And don't forget Verstappen as well. Verstappen was closing in Belgium last week, unfortunately, but due to that disconnect that had happened, unfortunately that caused him. Maloney, our championship leader, has got a 3-second time penalty, so maybe the points paying position maybe might be going to his teammate at this rate if he can't call it. And we are about to go into the pit window then. In a couple of laps time we can start to see people pitting around about now to around about lap 11, so we are excited to see what happens here between these guys, to see how they can manage with managing those super soft tyres. They all seem to be managing quite well. We've got Roberts gaining position into T1 there. That's a little bit of banging wheels between the Ferrari driver and the Williams car, but all good. It is all what is expected. And we got a battle in the middle bit as well with the 2 McLaren drivers, as Jorg managed to make his way past Maloney in the other McLaren up into P10 now. We've got Sam right behind him in P11 as well in the Ferrari car. The Tifosi fans are cheering on in their thousands for the Ferrari driver. They want to get a good result. LGS up in 8th, so they're going to get a good result regardless. X-Power's having a good race. Last out of all the runners at the moment in time. Don't know quite what happens with him. He's closing up to Hayden, so it is not all over yet for him at this stage. And I'm just seeing about tyres actually. Pelsbury on the medium is going to stretch it out for quite some time, but he's not finding the pace, to be honest, as much as all the other drivers. So maybe not the best tyre strap to be on, but he's still managing to keep the car together and get involved in some battles. But maybe he's lost those battles due to the fact that he was on the wrong tyre at the wrong time. But look at Verstappen, he's trying to catch up, and we've got our first super soft runner of Ollie Smithson into the pits, Alex.
Yeah, definitely going to try to do the undercut and see what he can do. He's following predictions of AOR there, so maybe he's listened to the AOR gods and thought, you know, I'm going to go through the tyre now. But he's on to the medium, so maybe he hasn't. He's gone on to his own ideas, actually. That is a very different strategy. We normally say go on the softs, so I'm very confused why he doesn't go on the softs, because the softs would have lasted the amount of time. Yes, maybe it would have tailed off a bit at the end, but the softs would have been perfectly fine, so I'm very confused why Ollie's done that. But yeah, so I would say he's trying to do the undercut. But moving on to mediums, I think he shot himself maybe in the foot slightly. Maybe I'll eat my words, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think that was the correct decision from Ollie Smithson at all.
No, it's not. But Manoli is making the right decision. He is pitted as well onto the super soft, and is going to go through to the end of this race then. So Manoli being a little bit braver, a little bit cleverer than Ollie Smithson. He's going to take those tyres to the end there. But interestingly enough, now because in famous place now out of the picture, Rosberg could go on whatever lap he wants to go into the pit, so he can choose if his tyres are managing it, he can choose to pit now or pit in the next lap. It looks like he's going to pit in the next lap. It was his plan anyway to pit around about lap 11, but we'll have to wait and see there. As one of the Haas cars in the pit, that is Verstappen. I think I would expect Alex to go and pit a lap later. They don't share pit boxes, so unfortunately they can't pit at the same time. They probably would have planned this far in advance. A lot of people are starting to pit now onto most likely going to be a set of softs, which I think Verstappen is putting on. Yes, he is. He's going onto a set of softs, and so is Bifa as well, which is going to take these guys up until the end of this race then to see how they can manage those, as Dralix is not gaining the pace to catch up to Rosberg than he would like, but probably they're going to pit roughly about the same time. But interestingly enough, can Verstappen get the overcut on Rosberg? It's going to be a tall order. I'm just checking how far Verstappen is from Rosberg. Roughly, it's not going to be enough, I don't think. 28 seconds behind Rosberg at this point. So Rosberg, I think, is going to do well to stay ahead of the Haas driver. But because Dralix and Rosberg pitting roughly about the same time, it's going to be pretty much even Steven in terms of the pit, and Dralix is going to do all he can. He's around about 2.9 now behind Rosberg, so if he keeps up, this could be a very good result for him. Rosberg, is he going to the pit? Yes, he is. He's onto the pit and likely going onto a set of softs. Dralix is going to the pit as well. Is Frank going to follow suit? Yes, he is. Roberts is going to stay out for quite a lap longer because they're going on. The softs can go to around about lap 16, so he's going to be there for a while. LGS going into the pit as well, and everyone else, I think, pretty much is either pitted or going to wait until lap 16 onto a set of the super soft soon. Pelsbury is also on. Oh no, he's been on the 70s for quite a long time. I do apologise, but where does Rosberg manage? He's right behind. He's right behind, in front of X-Power and just behind Dralix there. But Verstappen is managing to find the ground from his teammate again. So that is very interesting pit stop from Dralix and Verstappen there. But I wonder how that paid off for him. But so far, Rosberg, very clean pit stop from him, and he's retained the net lead of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, great move. Great, you know. I predict that when Rosberg comes into the pits, there will be people behind him following just to replicate the strategy. Obviously, Rosberg in the race trying to replicate his strategy. As you can see here, Ollie Smithson, he hasn't had the best pit stop. As I said, you know, I don't understand why he went on to the mediums now. He was trying to catch up to Franglish, who if I'm right, Franglish was behind Smithson into the pit stop. I believe so. But he doesn't seem to be gaining much time either. He's just about a second behind it, over a second, so he can't really gain per se DRS as well. But yeah, so yeah, great by Rosberg. Dralix and Verstappen holding it up for the Hasses there. But it's going to be very interesting now to see where Bobberts, who went pretty well, he obviously he started on the softs, Pelzeri, on the mediums. Interesting to see where he's going to come out, because obviously he's got a longer starting first stint. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes now as Verstappen makes a move on Dralix now as they go. Bit of DRS there before he gets to turn 1, gets it absolutely done and dusted, and that he's got Verstappen provisional P2.
Yeah, very good stuff from Verstappen. Bailey, he's a quite young driver, but we could see the potential for him pretty much going into his older ages pretty much. He is quite young, obviously too young to qualify for F1 esports, but wait until a few years off the bat when he's old enough. He's going to be fast, and I won't be surprised in either next season or the season after that he could be in F1 next season, as we did see the likes of people in a similar position to Verstappen in season 15 made the jump to the top tier this season. So we could see the potential for Verstappen being the same. Well, who knows? Maybe Rosberg as well. Maybe can go back to F1, but we'll have to find out. He's looking very strong at the moment. Rosberg, he's going to get enough time, I think, at the moment to try and close up to Verstappen to Maloney in the championship. We got Hayden fighting side by side with X Power in the Williams, fighting for pretty much last out of the finishers and not fighting to stay last. So side by side going into T1. Verstappen getting a very good fast lap on the soft compound. Hayden gets the move done into T1 up into pretty much 5 at the moment, but obviously not on track because obviously there's still guys still yet to pit, and they're still yet to pit as well. So obviously they will drop further down the field than they would have liked. But what a very good move from Hayden, looking strong as well in Monza. So very good to find out what's happening there. Sam F1 in 4th at the moment, but he's got Pelsbury at his sights as well. But Pelsbury is going to still be out for quite a long time. I wonder how these mediums are going to last for him. I really don't know. But Frank has got to do all he can to try and catch up to Dralix as well if he wants that podium position, because that will be the battle for the last podium position at the moment. But I think at the moment, but Dralix is not that close to his teammate Verstappen to not get possibly the move done. 1.1 seconds behind his teammate. Verstappen 1.9 behind Rosberg. So Verstappen is catching up. He is finding the pace on those soft tyres, but I think Rosberg's going to gain a little bit more of an advantage because he pitted quite later than Verstappen. So maybe Rosberg will, when the battle comes, maybe Verstappen's tyres will die a little bit more than Rosberg's coming towards the end of the Grand Prix, and this is where the strategy could lie. We do have a battle with Jork and Pelsbury. I think Pelsbury manages to keep that position up into P2. X Power goes side by side into T1 with Hayden once again up into P5 there. And points is key. So even though it is battling for pretty much last on the grid, not going last on the grid, it is still crucial to still get some battles in. And Maloney is still right at the bottom at the moment in 14th, but probably won't be long. That was an interesting line from X Power there in the Williams. Sam is still right behind him to try and catch up as well. So all in all, it's going to be very close for these guys. They will be expected to hit around about 3 laps time. Verstappen getting a penalty. So if he wants to get that podium spot, it's going to be a very tight order. Dralix hasn't got a penalty yet. I think Hayden it looks like he was going to let Rosberg through. I don't know, but they're not going to let Rosberg fight. Easy. Oh, what's happened to Hayden? I think Hayden just went a little bit off the wall. So that didn't help. I think he was trying to let Rosberg and Verstappen through, but unfortunately he took a different line going for Ascari there, which didn't quite help. And we got another yellow flag. No, it's Ollie Smithson. He's spun and he's struggling with those medium tyres. So yes, as you were saying earlier on, Alex, probably medium is not the best tyre to go on, and that is the proof in the pudding right there. As or you just take a spun there, and not having the best of luck in terms of race pace in this league, I got to say. And yeah, he's got to do all he can now to try and get some points. As Ollie, I think he hasn't found those grip. He's made the wrong decision, and it showed. He's probably going to go on to a set of the soft to go to the end of the race, and maybe it's going to be a little too late. Oh. Yeah, it is a soft. I thought it was the red supers they were putting on, but a front wing change as well. That's probably why he was pitting as well. I didn't see that. I saw that he spun, but I didn't see that he had wing damage, but he had. So that's why he pitted there. Verstappen and X Power are fighting side by side as well. Looks like Verstappen manages to hold on. Don't forget, it's not a good track position. Is X-Power still has to hit. Verstappen is finding a little bit more grip, but he's got to be 3 seconds clear of his teammate if he wants to have P2 of the race, because right now I think at the moment Rosberg is all set to claim this victory outright at the moment if he doesn't get any penalties. Right at the moment, Roberts, the leader of this race, then going into the pits, and so is George, so that will probably mean now that Rosberg is going to take the lead, but I think Pelsbury and obviously Sam are going to stay out.
Yeah, Pelsbury has been he's been suffering with quite a few lockups on the mediums, so his mediums aren't doing too well. Sam's taken the basic lead now, they're not the provisional main lead now, which kind of is annoying for Pelsbury because he's gone on the mediums to last a bit longer, but he's really struggling with them. You know, he's breaking up a lot, but as a go, he can't do much. He just keeps on locking up into the corners. I think it may be best for him just to basically just switch onto a new set of tyres as Dralix goes past X-Power now. As all of the provisional leaders are coming through now, they don't use blue flags just yet because it is just for racing position. But yeah, Pelsbury, if I was him, I'd come in now to switch, maybe on some not on super softs, because he's just locking up mediums and you're just losing time. It's just not going well for you. You know, he's following Sam. Sam's on a fresher, older set of tyres, so Pelsbury should technically be leading, but Sam's just doing a little better job. Let's see if Pelsbury does come into the pits, or if Sam comes into the pits, because Sam, except for X-Power, is the only runner that has had their softs on from the start. And is Sam coming in? Sam is coming in. Pelsbury is also coming in, so Pelsbury is copying what Sam does. Who else? Is X-Power coming in yet? X-Power is also coming in. So yeah, everyone is taking new tyres into the race now from about lap 17. So yeah.
Yep, that is what we predicted for the soft tyres. Oh, what has happened is kind of like a pit stop glitch for Pelsbury there. No, I think he was fine. I think it was just a visual glitch. Alright, don't know what happened, but it's all sorted now. As now Rosberg is now pretty much in the lead of this Grand Prix. And basically we're starting to see the order shape up now, and we're going to see their team colours at this moment in time. Hayden and X-Power still fighting out back as well, going towards T1 as they both pitted roughly about the same time as well. Pretty much everyone has pitted, done one stop except Ollie there, who has done two stops there. So not much damage from the runners except Ollie. And obviously we had the spun Finn from Infamous Plays, and also Clone Troop as well, pretty much a mistake of their own. Not any major incidents apart from that, which is very good to see as well. We've still got LGS fighting for 6 for Bobbers. It'll be good to see a Ferrari up in the top 6 in it. It would be a Tifosi favourite, pretty much, I got to say. If the Ferrari scores highly, I got to say. But we might see that in F1 this evening when Jid Durandi and Justin Sun commentate on that tonight. So make sure you watch that tonight later on. As Franglish is going to do all he can to try and catch up to P3. He's got the pace, but a little bit too far behind at the moment. But Rosberg, he's on a league of his own right now. He's got Verstappen quite behind him, trying to catch up, but he might know that Verstappen's got a penalty, so that's why he's acting fine at the moment to try and catch up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting for the final few laps. Pretty much the final half of this race pretty much now. So we've almost got 12 laps to go of this Grand Prix. Actually, no, not 12 laps. 8 laps, I don't know roughly. I'm losing count at the moment. But anyway, it'll be interesting in the final laps of this Grand Prix who's getting the strategy right. Roberts gets another position from FIFA, and he's in P5. So it looks like Roberts is on course to get his best result of the season in F2. In P5. It was going to be looking strong in Belgium, but unfortunately he had a few incidents last time about, but it's not looking like it at the moment. Very strong in P5. Haven't seen what the penalties are though. Roberts, I think, does have a few penalties, so don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And we still got people battling for position as well. Franglish is trying to catch up to Dralix. He's at a good opportunity at the moment, but still quite further behind to catch up to him. George getting a 3-second time penalty, but Rosberg, I think, one of the only of the top runners to not get a penalty, I believe. We will check the penalties as we go through to the end of this race, so just watch out, guys.
Yeah, so you got to wait until the end of the race whenever we cross the line, trying to see the makeup of the race, just because so many penalties coming through now. But yeah, so Rosberg, Bobbert seems to be on the correct strategy now, to be fair, but he's got a 9.3 second gap to Franglish Could he close it up? Maybe, but it takes a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there. Went a bit too hot into turn 1, but he has got currently the fastest lap, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, he is on the fastest lap. So he could make up to Franglish. You know, he's on the faster tyres, newer tyres, but the only problem is, pardon me, he's got about 8 laps to do it. Can the Supersofts last 11 laps at such speed? Probably not. So I highly doubt that Bobbitt is going to get P4 unless something dramatic happens out the front. So it looks like for me, Bobbitt's probably his best position now will probably be P5, but he's 8.9 seconds now behind Franglish. He was 9.5 at the start of the lap, so he's gaining time, definitely gaining time. But I just think it's a bit too little, too late for Bobbitt. But he's got some incredible speed currently in the Williams right now.
Yeah, but that is very good to see, and that's why you did get promoted to F2, which he did very well in F3. But oh my word, Dralix was ghosted for a second. That made me jump. I think Dralix lost a bit of connection now, or maybe his controller disconnected. I don't know. But Franglish was able to get that move easily done now. That almost gave me a heart attack going through there, because I thought I was going to see a collision. But thank goodness for ghosting on this game, as Franglish is now up into P3 now and on a charge for P2. I think Franglish and Verstappen are pretty much even on penalties. So Dralix, I think, is still going to hold on to that podium position at this rate. But that was major close between these guys, and I think we've got yellow flag in set 3. It's Ollie Smithson again. Am I surprised? Pretty much no at this moment in time. He's just got to be a little bit more careful, I've got to say, at this rate. He's around about 39 seconds off the pace right now, and pretty much he's almost going to be lapped by Rosberg and Verstappen if they're not careful, as they're going up to approaching the sky. But look at Verstappen. Verstappen is closing up to Rosberg rapidly on the set of soft tyres, and if I was Rosberg, Rosberg has got to be under pressure a little bit to see if they want to get the win on track. Verstappen hasn't won here, and Ollie is out of the session. So unfortunately, Ollie will not be taking further part in the session. Ollie hasn't had good reliability, as we said earlier, in the season. Probably one of the worst for reliability of F2, I think, this season, which is quite unfortunate because he was in championship fight last season and he's way down the bottom this season. But it is a new game. Tyre temperatures could be a major factor because it is quite tricky as well. Imagine what it's going to be like in Singapore. This could be something that he could struggle at a little bit, but we'll have to find out. But anyway, let's watch and see how the battles are developing. I think X-Power and Maloney are trying to battle in as Verstappen's got another penalty. He's up to 6 seconds
No,
now.
Verstappen spun.
Oh,
Verstappen
no.
spun. He was coming out on one of the corners just before and just lost the rear completely as well. Not great for him.
Has he got,
Bit too much.
He's
Lost a bit. I think he's going to come in and he might as well just go onto a new set of super softs and just go as fast as he can. So it does look like Bobbitt will get P4. So yeah, great. Good for the Williams driver, not so great for the Haas driver of Verstappen. So Bobbitt will probably make a move now. Yeah, Verstappen's just given way to Bobbitt. So expect Verstappen in the pits as soon as he gets to the end of the lap.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Verstappen, to be honest. Last week he had disconnection issues and now he just spun a little bit there, which I think, to be honest, he's had bad luck the last few races due to that, and to be honest, I think Bailey must be kicking in his boots right now, so we do feel really sorry for him as he's having that bad luck, which is now going to put Franglish in the picture for P2 of this Grand Prix as well, which is going to be interesting as well. And yes, Alex, you were right, Verstappen is going into the pit, and he's going to drop down massive positions already, which I think is unfortunate, but hey ho, it is racing. Sometimes you've got to take it on the chin and concentrate on the next race, and that is, I think, what Verstappen is going to be doing. I wonder what time he could have gone. Probably going to stay on the soft by the looks of it, and we'll go to the end there at this rate. And Rosberg, I think, is the only person to stay out of trouble. The only battle he had was with Infamous Clays. Apart from that, he hasn't been involved in much battles. He's been running his own race, trying to keep the car on the circuit and be concentrating on himself, really. So that is what he's been doing. He's not worrying about the battles that have been happening behind him, because that is what has been happening behind him, and he's been concentrating and keeping it clean. That's what he's doing. Oh, Franglish is running. Oh, that was close from Franglish, I think. He almost hit into the wall, but that was a massive save from Franglish. I've got to say, through Ascari, that what could have happened if he didn't save it in time from Franglish. But almost another heart attack was given to me for Franglish. Stop giving me heart attack, Franglish, please. But anyway, Dralix, I think, is going to close on to Franglish now. Still not that further behind as well. But it looks like Dralix will hold on to P2, I think, because I think Franglish did get a few penalties, I believe. We will check penalties towards the end. We may surprise you, we don't know. But I think obviously the winner penalty is going to be in a very prime position, like we said. And we could see some best results from most of these drivers, I think, as well. But, you know, not good, looking good for the championship leader either. As I think, it looks like LGS lost its T1 there in the Ferrari from Beaver. That's allowed Beaver to gain a position at the moment. Let me just switch back to intervals. There we go. And Janis has just got to find some time now. He's got to do all he can. Franglish 3 seconds behind Rosberg. I don't think it's going to be enough to catch a race win. So unless Rosberg bowls it, pretty much the race win is pretty much going to be for Rosberg, which I think he was out of the fight for the championship for a little bit, but now he's definitely in the fight now. And if I'm not mistaken, he could take the lead at some point, which will be very good, as he's been looking very strong the last couple of races. The last win he took was in Bahrain. He also won last week as well, so could it be on course to take his second win of the season? It's highly likely from the Mercedes driver. It was hoping to be a Mercedes 1-2, but fortunate for when Famous Place to retire early on in the race. But Mercedes looks like it's going to be on the top step, which I think is going to be good for you Mercedes fans out there.
Yeah, Rosberg will be leading the championship with about 145 points. Maloney will still be 136, just because he's second to last. He's running P12. This will be the first time he's finished out of the points this season since Bahrain in round 2. So not great at all for the McLaren driver. But yeah, great race by Rosberg. Back-to-back wins for him. The first time he's done that this season. He had a few struggles. You know, he had back to Monaco and then France back-to-back. He had 11th and 11th there. That's the only time he's been out the points for that. Other than that, he's been consistent, top 6 finishes, except for a few top 8 sometimes that you get 8th done. But yeah, he's been so consistent recently, really challenging Maloney for the win. It looks like Dralix will also keep that P3 position just because he's currently in P3, and Infamous Clays is crashed out as well, so not great at him at all. Beaver may also be pushing up. Let me just double check that. I think Beaver may be pushing up as well. He may even take P4 in the championship, so maybe even worse than this place. He may drop a few positions when he could have gained more positions in the Drivers' Championship this time around. So yeah, Infamous Clays will be really kicking himself for that crash as Maloney gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Dralix getting close to Franglish, coming out turn 1 now. But yeah, 2 to 3 laps to go, and Rosberg's pretty much got this in the bag, to be fair. But positions 2 and position 3 are still up for grabs, so all to play for.
Yes, indeed. So to be honest, Franglish, he can't afford to take his foot off the paddock. He can't afford to make a little bit too much mistakes. And Franglish has definitely been on better form this season than he was last season. And he had better luck last week, and he could be getting his second podium as well, which will be excellent news for the Toro Rosso, like we said. But I think, to be honest, it is going to be quite close as well for the last points paying position as well, or pretty much any points. And I think Jork 94 is closing up to Pelzery, and 3-second time penalty for Franglish. I think it's his first, I believe, if I'm mistaken. Or his second, I don't know. So pretty much, I think Janet could potentially get P2 at this rate. But I think Pelzer just got the move on Jork, I think it was. Yes, it was. He did get a time penalty in the process. So I think Jork may get the move done to Ascari now. They're side by side at the moment, though, trying to get the move done. They get the outside line. Jork has, but decided to push back at the moment. Decided not much space for him at this stage. We've got 1 lap to go. Or Jork's kicked the gravel. That is not the best way, I got to say, to take that. I got to say, but I was ashamed that Franglish did get a penalty, unfortunately. That puts his chances of pretty much second down the window. But I'm just glad that this race has been great full of battles. I got to say, it's been close pretty much the whole race, and we only had 3 retirements, and I was expecting to have a lot more retirements, so it's good that most of these guys have been keeping it clean. The Ferrari of LGS and Beef running side by side into turn 3 and 4 there, and I think LGS manages to get to P5 as well, which is good to see right now, but LGS 7 seconds behind Bobbers. Bobbers is just going to hold on to P4 at this stage. Dralix now closing up to Franglish in the Toro Rosso there. I don't think Dralix had any penalties. Can you double check, Alex, whilst I talk over this battle? But anyway, they're both side by side. They're both going to almost look like they're going to be side by side. No, they're not, as they're going through Parabolica now. But I think that Dralix is going to get DRS. Franglish is not. He's not under DRS from Rosberg, unfortunately, to get the move done. So I think Dralix is going to have a little bit more of an advantage, and it looks like he's going to take the outside line approaching to T1. Let's see what happens here. The Haas car got the better line into turn 1, and he's now up into P2 now. It'll be a bit too little too late to catch up to the Mercedes driver of Rosberg, but that's going to be a very strong P2 if he keeps this up. Jorg just took P7 from Hausery, so it is a battle of the Titans, a battle for the finish for pretty much the 2nd and 3rd position right now of this Grand Prix, Alex.
Yeah, Dralix only has a few warnings, no penalties to see, so it probably looks like he will maintain P2, to be fair, for English there. But yeah, last lap, it's been, you think about Clays, you just feel bad for him because he probably would have been leading this race, or if not, would have been P2. Bobbitt's done really well, to be fair, 11 laps on the super softs, good blast, alternate strategy worked well for him. Going on to the softs worked really well. Helsbury, not bad for him, probably would have been better for him to go onto the softs, to be fair. But Dralix, oh my god, he's really close to Rosberg now. It's going to be 3 cars coming over the line, but Rosberg celebrating, and he takes the win with Dralix P2 and Franglish confirmed P3.
Yes, indeed. So well done to Rosberg for his 2nd win in a row. He's on fine form at this moment in F2, which is great to see. Bobber's his best finish of the season in P4. He probably must be delighted managing to get those soft tyres to the end. And if I was voting for my driver of the day, I think one of those has to be Bobbert, due to the fact that we weren't predicting that Bobbert was going to get those super softs to the end of this race with 12 laps, but he manages to do it, which is great stuff on him. So well done, and he charged his way up through the field as well. He gained 11 positions, so which is incredible feat for Bobbert. He had a bad qualifying, but a very good race. So yeah, my driver of the day has got to be going to Bobbert, which I think as well. What do you think your driver of the day is based on the performance so far?
I agree with Bobbert, to be fair. Fast laps, pretty pushed. The times didn't last it very well. And yeah, great strategy. Just shame for him not to be on the podium, because I think he, it could have been a strategy that he could put on a podium if he was just further up the grid. But yeah, solid race from Bobberts. So yeah, driver there goes to Bobberts.
Yeah, I think so as well. And well done to all the drivers out there today. I'm actually going to try and see if we can get them into the podium interviews. I don't have Dralix added on my friends list, I don't think, but I think I do have a Franglish saved, so I will add them to the party in due course. And well, it was a very good race, to be fair. And let's just go through the order, with Rosberg taking a win in a Mercedes, replicating what Hamilton did in real life. Great stuff from him, with Dralix with P2, the Canadian, and Franglish in P3. Bobbitt's his best result in P4. Our driver of the day goes to him, with Beaver in P5, LGS in P6, Sam in P7, Jorg in P8, Pelswick in P9, the next Power rounding up your top 10. I think the only two out of the top 5 that not to get penalties was Dralix and Rosberg, so good on them, and Beaver not getting a penalty either. And Hayden and Maloney rounding up your finishes then for this Grand Prix, and also Verstappen as well. Very unlucky for what he had as well, because he'd had a very good move towards the start. But we got non-finishers, Ollie Smithson, Infamous Clays, and Clone Troop. And unfortunate what happened between Infamous Clays and Clone Troop. But I think what Ollie did there to retire was he was on the wrong strategy to begin with. He pitted on the mediums, wasn't the best. He collided into the sky with himself. He spun, he lost his front wing. Then he struggled again to make his tyres last, and I think that's what happened, to be honest. So that's what's caused him to lose a position. So very unfortunate from those. But again, well done to our race winner. Again, our double race winner, Rosberg.
Yeah, great from Rosberg there. You only got to think about, how it was a shame that we couldn't get Mercedes 1-2, because it was highly likely we could have got Mercedes 1-2, as I said. Infamous Clays could have taken the lead. But yeah, Cyril Rosberg now, championship leader. So well done to him. Meloni, bit of a shame for him to be outside the points. And, Vierty Verstappen as well could have secured P3 if he didn't have that moment coming out of one of the corners and just ending up in the wall and losing the front wing. So yeah, it's been the podium. Looks to be one, the skill to get there, obviously, but two, just a shame that a few drivers had a few mistakes that cost them, crucial points in the championship.
Yes, and I do believe we do have obviously we have P1 and P3 in the party right now, who are just getting Dralix in the party as well, so they'll be inviting. But whilst we're waiting for that, we've got our race winner anyway, of Rosberg in the party. Well done on your second race win in the road to add to your wins to Bahrain and Belgium as well. Tell me, were you expecting to get that race win today?
After I think it was Clays' crash, if anything, that made my race a little bit harder because I didn't have anyone to slipstream off. I knew after qualifying I had a great chance, and the gap that me and Clays had, both of us had a pretty good chance of just managing the gap to the cars behind and just controlling our own race. After his crash and Bailey having his unfortunate moment, then I kind of had a feeling that my race was pretty much sorted from there.
Yes, and it was looking strong. You weren't involved in much battles towards the end there. Were you able to conserve your tyres a little bit more due to the fact that Fanglish and Dralix were battling behind you?
If anything, it was the fuel in ERS that was my problem. I mean, I don't think I put enough in, and I kind of just started burning it when Bailey was behind me because I started bricking it. But I think the tyres, the rears were a little bit screwed because I ran a higher ballast than what I was used to, and overall just trying to control the gap to Franglish and Dralix was a bit difficult, but yeah, I just about managed to hold on at the end, so it's all good.
Yes, and another closing in on Maloney in the championship. I think you're pretty much going to take the lead as well. And what are you going to try and do to get to Singapore? Because I think Singapore is quite hard with tyre temperatures. And are you quite good with managing your tyre temperatures around Singapore, or is this something you're going to work on?
I'm good at managing my tyre temps. I don't know how good I am around Singapore. I think I'm absolutely rubbish. But hopefully I can just manage the race. If I can just come home with maybe a top 5, then I'd be thrilled with that. It's the ball is in Melanie's court now, I think the saying is, since he's now got to catch me. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're pretty much 9 points separated between you and Maloney in the championship, so it is all to play for here. So that's definitely taken a step in your book. So well done to you. And Alex, would you like to interview P2? Alex?
Sure, he's just connecting right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's having trouble with the party.
Yeah, do you want to take Franglish? You take Franglish then.
Okay,
you take Franglish and I'll take Dralix
we wait
afterwards.
for Dralix to connect there. Franglish, another podium position, P3, looking very strong race pace. And were you expecting that after your qualifying? Because you were looking very strong in the race, battling with the Haas drivers, I've got to say.
Not really, to be fair. I was pretty much expecting that top 5 would be the maximum I would get, but thankfully a few drivers dropped out in front of me, so I managed to gain a few places to get to the podium.
Yes, and tell me how hard was it to manage your tyres with the battle with Dralix keeping him behind you when you saw Verstappen lose it a little bit?
Yeah, it was pretty hard.
There you go.
Yeah, I was managing as well as and fuel, so and especially and it was really hard with the rear left, which was getting pretty hot through the parabolic every lap. Yeah, so had to keep an eye on it pretty much all through the race.
Yeah, were you finding it hard to manage your ERS as well, or was it quite easy for you?
Yes, I was really on the end of the battery at the end. That's why I couldn't really fight on Dranix when he passed me. I think it was 2 laps from the end. Had nothing left.
You had nothing left, but you still got a podium, which is a good result, and closing up on the championship. I do believe you're now closing up to Dranix in the championship, P4 after your one of your best results of the season. And going into Singapore, do you think you need to do a bit more practice?
Mainly to be better in qualifying, that's for sure, because it's hard to overtake, and I've been let down by qualifying this season, so it's really something I need to work on.
Yes, yeah, well done on P3 there. And I think we do have Dranix in the party, do we not, Alex?
Yeah, we do.
Yep, we do.
Awesome. So, yeah, this race for you was pretty much important in the driver title championship. You've made considerable gap now to Infamous Clays. How important is this race to you? Like, do you think you can now maintain this gap to Clays, or do you think that it's going to get ever more tighter as the season continues?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't think I was that close to Clays. I thought he was further ahead than me, so...
No, you coming into this race, you was about P3 in the championship with 1 point between you, but now obviously Clay's crashed out, you gained P3, you've got a considerable set of points to him now in terms of the championship, so it looks like P3 is pretty much, you've got a nice set of covering there for you, so yeah, it looks like you're pretty much covered. Do you expect to see that gap dwindle away with Clay's, or do you expect to somewhat maintain it or increase it by any chance?
If I can stay consistent like I'm doing right now, I think he'll slowly catch up if Clays can get some of his like Hungary results where he was just dominating the race. But if he makes a couple more mistakes like he did today, I think I can keep it. My goal is to catch Melanie and Rosberg at the top. I think I can do that if I can stay out of trouble, but they're a bit far right now.
How did you feel actually how did you feel when you saw your teammate Verstappen had a few issues there? Did that put a little bit less pressure on you trying to battle with Frank Brish?
My heart stopped. I know he got disconnected last race, so when I saw him hit the wall, I was just like, oh no. I mean, I gained a position, which was good for me, but it's not the way I would want to gain a position, seeing someone else crash. And for Franglish, I mean, he was faster in the first stint of the softs, and then at the end, I was faster. So I don't know. It was. I guess when Franglish passed me, I wasn't under pressure because there was no one behind me, so I could just concentrate on driving.
And is Singapore a strong track for you?
No.
Okay then, I understand. It is quite hard with track temperatures on this track. Do you think that makes it harder for you?
I think that makes it easier for me. I think that's what I'm good at, is keeping the tires cool and not destroying my tires. It's just I don't like driving the track, and overtaking is really hard, and I don't have a good history with the track, so I guess we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see then, and I think that is it. Alex, do you have your final words before we wrap up?
No, it's just been very interesting race. Great race to first really co-commentate on, but yeah, Rosberg's making great strides in that title championship now, so it's basically, as Rosberg said, the ball is in Maloney's court to see if he can, take the lead once again in the race. But yeah, can't wait for the dwindling track, the twisty turny track of Singapore, where some crashes will be expected. It's very fast, very tight as well, and very technical. So yeah, really looking forward to Singapore.
Yes, very looking forward to it as well. And thank you so much for watching the stream. Also thanks to my co-commentator Alex for joining me. He'll be joining me for the rest of the season. Also thank you so much to our podium sitters as well. They'll be doing very well. And also thank you to our sponsors, Elgato, Hype Energy, Thrustmasters and GT Amiga Racing as well, and for providing stuff to our drivers. And it has been a great race, I've got to say. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And yes, it will be Singapore next week. It is a very tough track, one of the hardest tracks on the calendar, pretty much one of the longest tracks on the calendar. So it's going to be very, very hard for the drivers, but very much looking forward to seeing what happens. But right now, it is the Xbox One F1 race, so still more Monza race to catch up on. So make sure you do check that out right now on the AOR channel. Just switch over there and find out what is happening. We could just, I think, we'll just about watch the end of qualifying, so we'll be there just in time. So thanks you guys so much for watching. We will see you next week for more AOR action. Good night.